income to start it and consistency. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but you need money to start it. You need money to make money.
Yeah.
Build up capital. If you think you need 5 grand, you need 20. You know, if you think you need 20 grand for a big project, you really need 80. Like, you need more than you think.
Overestimate.
And be consistent. You know, keep showing up on the days that you're not having business, or the days you do have business but you don't feel like doing the business. Just keep showing up, and it'll fall.
Welcome back to Beyond the Brand. Today I'm sitting down with Ali Srour, a licensed barber, artist, and owner of Ali's BarberShop right here in South Philly. He just hit the 1-year mark of running his own spot here on South Philly, and he's trying to build a name for himself as well. What makes him different? He doesn't just cut fades, he draws people as well. As you can see, literally, his creative style shows up in both his shop and on the sketch pad. He's shaping confidence, community, and a future that blends arts and business. But let him tell it himself. Ali, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, man. So my name's Ali.
Yeah.
That was a great introduction. Hype me up big time. But
Yeah.
So I've been a licensed barber since 2020. I've been cutting hair since I was 14, and I just opened this up last year. It's just kind of a hole in the wall on South Street, and fixed it up within like 30 days. Opened up after I got inspected and approved by the city, and just went from there, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when did you see this vision? Like, when did you, like, how did you even come upon of this? Like, how did you come about the shop?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How did you
So,
go to your shop?
2020, I graduated from Penn State, and I didn't know what I really wanted to do. COVID hit, and I couldn't really find a corporate job in healthcare. So since I was cutting hair before corporate, I decided to just go back to what I knew, which was cutting hair.
Okay.
Got a license in 6 months and worked at a barbershop, honestly, like 8-9 blocks down the street from here, and worked there for 4 years. I think 2 years into that was when I started to save money and just look around at the barbershop and think to myself, like, I could do this, having a chair and just some clippers and building a book. Like, I could do this on my own. So I had a number that I needed, and then I once I had that number in my account, by saving money, I just found this spot on Craigslist, and then just built it, got the money I saved from the last 2 years and invested it in this, and this is where we are.
That's great, because it takes a lot of discipline for especially somebody that young to be able to just say, hey, I need to save this amount of money to put into this investment or this idea that I have. And if you don't mind telling, the young barbers or people that might be actually trying to looking to start their own shop, what was that actual number that you had saved up to specifically, put into the business?
So my goal was 30 grand. I had saved up about 28. And then when I was at 25, 26 grand, that's when I started to look, because I was like, all right, by the time that I quit the job and I find a spot, I'll be at 30 grand.
Yeah.
So when I left, I was at 28,000, and then it took me 10 grand to set up the shop initially. But the walls weren't painted. I think you were one of my first clients, back when I had to cut the locks, the huge transformation.
Yeah, I had to cut the locks.
None of the walls were painted. Half the things that were here, the fridge, coffee machine, the TV, weren't here. So in the last year, I think I spent a total of $40,000 building what you see right now currently. But initially it was like 10 grand.
Okay, that's not that bad. I was expecting. Did you do everything by yourself?
Everything, yeah, from tiles to the baseboard to everything.
Okay, so it was easy for you to get the shop since it wasn't really fully built out. Essentially.
That was the key. Was that you could go two ways. I know some people that rent out an already made salon.
Yeah.
Or like an already made place that has marble fixtures and has tiles, but the rent's real high.
Yeah.
Or you can kind of go like, old school dad mode and just, build everything. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So before we get started and, move any further with the interview and just getting to know you more. So, we'll tell the audience a little bit fun fact about yourself that you don't think your clients would know about you.
Yeah. Interesting. I played in the Philadelphia Youth Orchestra.
Really?
I did,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty cool. So what was the instrument?
Violin.
The violin. So you're a violinist. You can
Yeah.
play. Have you written before or something?
No, no, but
Also,
I started out when I was in first grade,
okay.
and then it just kept going
It's going.
until senior year of high school, and
Yeah.
then after college, I picked it back up
Yeah.
for a little bit for like a year. But yeah, I was
This
part of the.
this guy's just a creative guy. He can cut hair. He can draw
That's
people. He
it.
can play the violin. What, he can dance also,
No,
bro.
no, no. It's transferable.
It's like
Art,
that.
art is transferable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So yeah, well, we just talked a little bit. You mentioned a little bit about playing the violin as a kid, and let's we could take it back a little bit. What was life for you growing up? Where did you grow up? And was being creative. What kind of kid were you? Were you creative socially? Like how did you come about? Like, hey, was entrepreneurship in your blood?
Nah, man, no, no. Seriously, I grew up on 13th and Tasker in South Philly. I went to St. Monica's Catholic School. I had no creativity. Like I played football. I had good friends, a good circle around me. Played lacrosse, wrestled for 2 years. Other than that, I think creativity started coming in when I found out I could draw. I was in like fourth or fifth grade, and they would give us assignments, and I was drawing, and I just did better than everybody else,
Yeah.
and then I would take that home. So like I would just draw at home on my
Yeah.
free time.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was a small portion. Now my whole career, literally my whole life, every day from when I go to work to when I go home is just art. But back then it was a small portion. I was really just playing football, doing homework. That's it.
Was anybody in your family creative? Where your mom, your dad, and siblings? Or did you grow up around that?
Nah, man. I mean, my dad's cousin was an artist back in the Middle East. Like he just created art from time to time.
Yeah.
But other than that, there wasn't really anybody. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was my dad's encouragement that actually pushed me here. Because my dad would constantly buy me like, a violin. He would
Yeah.
constantly buy me art supplies. I would run out of art supplies, and I'd come back home and I'd just find a bunch of art supplies.
That's dope.
You know,
What about entrepreneurship? Was there anybody around you that
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
business owners?
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. My dad owns a couple businesses.
Okay. What businesses?
He owns two IHOP.
IHOP.
IHOPs.
Which one? Which
Yeah,
ones?
yeah.
Around here?
Yeah, there's one in Northeast Philly and there's one in Trenton, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, so
He's a franchise guy.
my dad
Yeah,
came
right.
here, and I know this is not about my dad.
No, it's all background stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came here when he was 16. And he was like a young Arab dude, couldn't speak English, so he found a job at an IHOP in Broumont, PA. And the guy was Middle Eastern, was Arab, so like he it's the only person he could communicate with.
Yeah.
Because he came here, he didn't know how to speak English. So it really was just a guy that worked his way up, literally, like no degree, nothing.
yeah.
He just started out as a busboy, made more connections, and eventually, like 30 years later, he bought his first IHOP in Trenton, New Jersey. And then like 6 months later, he bought the one in Northeast. He just went like bam, bam, just right off the bat.
So IHOP was like very successful. I mean,
Yeah.
IHOP was pretty successful back in the day.
It still is,
a
man.
popping franchise.
It's still kind
Really?
of, yeah, like if it's not near like, First Watch
Yeah.
or, Sabrina's Cafe, if it's not anywhere near any of those places and you just have a solo breakfast place,
Yeah.
you are
It's
going to make
go
business.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you did grow up around that, and so that kind of like projected you to be able to say, hey, I'll be able to kind of tackle this venture by myself. Yeah. Do you get any advice from your dad at the point right now in terms of business? Or I mean, I guess it's two separate businesses, so
It
you
is.
can't really, yeah. But the same business acumen is still there.
My dad's really philosophical, so the only thing he told me when I opened this up was just keep going.
Yeah.
He was like, even if you open up the first month and you may be discouraged and stuff like that, just like take it day by day.
Yeah.
Come in here, cut whoever you can, and leave.
Yeah.
That's all. And he said, like, if you feel bad one day, don't show it. Like, still
keep
smile.
going, yeah.
Yeah, still, yeah.
Cool. So let's talk more about the business in the first couple months that you had running the business.
Yeah.
So what were the biggest struggles that you didn't see coming when you started the shop?
how random it was. I'll be honest. When you start a business, you're not going to know what you're doing. And that's, I didn't realize how random things were and how like non-structured things were. Now they're structured.
Yeah.
Because the business is built and I have a clientele and there's things I could work around. But when you first open up, there's nothing you could work around. You're coming in here and you're just as clueless as the client.
Yeah.
You know, the client will be looking at me and he'll be like, you know, what kind of haircut we doing today? And I'm like, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just as clueless
I'm cutting
as you.
your hair, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you tell me. It's like, what, bro?
So every day I'm like looking, like at the end of my shift, I look around at like corners of the shop and I'm like, man, like what can I do to fix it? So it's just the cluelessness was what really, you know, threw me off.
So now that you've kind of gotten everything together, what do you think is? It's been a year now. So what's the big difference that you've seen from the first couple months that you were doing it until now? And what type of vibe were you like intentionally trying to intentional about creating?
I was trying to create a community vibe.
Community vibe. Okay.
Yeah, I keep the door open all the time when I'm cutting hair.
Okay.
I got dog bowls outside. You know, I have a bunch of, right over there's a bunch of business cards for so many businesses. You got real estate guys, lawyers, musicians, dog walkers. I want to create a community. That was what I wanted when I first started. What changed now versus back then, versus a year ago, was my confidence level.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like now I could, you know, if I don't like a certain way a cut's going or a client, like,
speak up.
you know, yeah, and now I could say like, yo, dude, like blah, 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 or yo, I don't like this cut or something like that. So there really is no more fear and just the confidence is there now. Yeah.
Well, you said you were intentional about building community. How long did that, do you feel that that's built? And like, how long did that take you to feel like, all right, this is, this is all coming together?
So I think that was the first key to building it, was that was the only thing that I had, you know, because I told you like I was clueless about a lot of things. That was the one thing I wasn't clueless about. So I latched onto that completely, was the community thing. I think I built it like a month in.
Yeah.
Because it's all I had. I was like, all right, if I don't have anything else and there's a lot of fear, let me try to at least build friendships and relationships, you know.
So how long did it take you to get that first customer?
First day I had like 8-9 walk-ins.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were popping right off the bat.
So I could fit about 15 people in my book.
Okay.
12 to 15.
Each day?
Every day.
Okay.
And so my initial goal was 3 people a day. I was like, if I could clear 3 people a day, I can make rent and I can like, you know, stay afloat.
Yeah. What tools did you use to calculate all of that? Was that all just like in your head, or were you like, you actually sat down and like did all the calculations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like, you know, my base cut was like 30 when I first opened up, or 35. Now it's 40 for a cut, 45 for a fade. But I was like, all right, if I cut 3 people a day, that's $100 a day. And if I'm here 5 days a week, that's $500 a week. So I can clear rent in 2 months, like rent, you know, or in 4 weeks. So
that's good. It's like, just kind of like forward thinking, just trying to stay ahead of all your books, right?
Yeah.
Just make sure that you're able to gotta take care of all the situation, like your electric,
that's it.
Everything. So what made South Street feel like this, like the right location for you to start this?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you, bro. I did not know that this was gonna be a good location at all.
Okay.
I found it on Craigslist. It was really cheap rent, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. So I know you said you had to, get the place together. You put up the walls, you put up the tile. What else did you do prior to opening? Were you like out soliciting business, like posting stuff online, like say, hey, I'm out, I'm opening this up? Like, how did you make sure that your doors? How did you make sure people were gonna be here when you opened the doors?
So I didn't use any social media up until recently, is when I started focusing on social media. When I first opened the shop, it was strictly like physical. I was like, real life, real world, that's what I'm gonna do. So I ordered 1,000 business cards, and my first week, even though I had like 6 to 8 clients a day, I had a lot of space in the day where I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
So I looked at the business cards and quickly realized, like, wait a minute. I opened up May 1st. That's when summer started. Like, it was spring, summertime. Everybody was walking. If I ever have any free time, I'm just going to stand outside and hand out cards. And I think in 1 month, no lie, I handed out a little under 3,000 business cards.
Wow.
Yeah, in 1 month.
So you were just doing basically, what do they call that? Guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just guerrilla marketing, just being in front of the people and just
That's
getting
it.
you know.
Give them a smile and
Yeah.
just say like, yo, and go for people in your demographic.
Yeah.
Like a 65-year-old man is less willing to be like bro, kind of like friend vibe to you if he's just trying to go to CVS and get water.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, I'm 26, 27, and as opposed to a guy who's like also 26, and he's headed to the gym. You dap him up and tell him like, yo, dude, I'm a barber. I'm trying to da 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 da. He'll come in here and he'll get a cut.
Yeah. So basically what you do to get clients is essentially just be in the community.
Yeah. It's steps too. Yeah. So like I can't get a client in here, give him a fade, and then tell him I'm gonna take a video of you, post you on my Instagram, and it's the first time I ever cut him.
Yeah.
You got to build that relationship.
Yeah. So what has been the biggest unexpected challenge you've ran into so far?
All right, this is gonna sound a little in the least arrogant way. Like it worked so well.
Yeah.
Keeping up with that. Honestly, like there were weeks where I was exhausted, but like I had like to cut 15 people, and I'm like, yo, I'm happy this is working, but also like I was tired.
Said business is booming. Like there's no challenges in running a business. Everything just kind of falls into place. Like clients just come in. Like there's a revolving door of clients, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy. I mean, a lot of people, people can say the same. Other barbershops can say the same. So how did you feel? Like what do you think like made it so different though?
I would say diversity.
Okay.
Honest to God, man.
Okay.
Diversity, yeah.
Well, just the different amount of people that are coming in here.
Being able to communicate with anybody and being able as a barber to cut, and any textured hair like and perfectly day in and day out.
What's the most difficult type of hair type?
Can I be honest?
Nigerians like
no. That's actually the easiest for me.
Yeah.
Because where I grew up and where I went to barber school at Main Attraction in Southwest Philly.
Okay, yeah. I know that side.
And I all I cut was like African American, Dominican.
That's like native Popeyes and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's where I cut Joe.
Okay. Yeah. So they do barber classes there as part of their.
It's combined. So the 76ers official barber owns all that.
Oh, okay.
So he,
teaches other people how to.
So you're gonna get taught by somebody that like that cuts Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
You're gonna get taught by that guy, and so that's who I got taught by.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I actually went to the barbershop, like 8 blocks down, that I actually really started to cut like a man from India or a man from like South Korea or something like that. Honestly, but before that it was just like Dominican, African American, all that stuff.
Has there ever been a point where like somebody like literally was like, yo, I don't like this cut, and you're like, bro, the cut is already done. Like I don't really know what to do here.
There's two instances where I ran into a conflict where it was really like the dude vocalized to me and he was very upset. And a lot of times if somebody's not gonna like a cut, they may just be like, yeah, and then they'll pay you and they won't come back. Or they'll come back but just go to another chair.
Yeah.
They don't mind.
They'll do it right in front of you.
So,
somebody's picking up a business card as you speak. See?
That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Somebody just walking in, you're gonna see somebody just walked in, like he had his business cards out there. And literally, it's just easy marketing. It's easy because South Street is easy. A lot of foot traffic that goes through here as well. So that's like one thing. Is like even though you didn't know about the location, it's still a great location because of all the foot traffic.
I literally have written on the window, take one, and then an arrow to my business cards.
So what do you do? I know you said you were burnt out from cutting so many people's hair because business is booming. So I mean, how do you stay motivated to keep doing it? Especially when you say, "Oh, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this. I'm being."
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I mean, I never leave like the goal. You know what I'm saying? Even if I am burnt out, just push through it. I never get away from the goal, man. Yeah. And plus I like money, so.
You're by yourself in here
Yeah.
essentially all day.
Yeah.
How is that? How is that? I know you tried to get another barber in here, and that didn't really work out. If you want to talk about some of the challenges it is you're facing trying to find a barber, but how do you handle that pressure of being the only person in here and trying to make sure that you keep the place running and not rely, be the only person to kind of do the marketing and the operations and everything like that?
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm really comfortable and I really love that because it's what I can control. I can control me coming in here, working, cutting people. I know how to cut hair, so that part of like, man, am I gonna be able to cut this guy's hair is gone because I'm good. I know that. So that part is comfortable for me. I have honestly no problems with that. The hardest challenge. So I guess I take that back. The biggest challenge that I've had since I opened up was finding somebody to work here. Yeah, that's been a lot.
And why is that?
Nobody has a barber's license. I'll keep it honest. I'm not trying to expose the barber industry here, but nobody has a barber's license, man. I mean, I think I've interviewed 23 people and hired 2. And all 23 that I interviewed didn't have a barber's license.
That's a lot of people to be hired. A lot of people to be trying to interview and not have a license at all.
The first question I ask is, do you have a barber's license? And I've had people like tiptoe around it. Like they'll send me their ID. I'm like, what?
that's not your driver's. I mean, that's not your barber's license, homie. You know what you drive.
It's a driver.
You know what your barber's license is. Yeah, why you trying to throw me?
5'8". I'm like, okay, cool, but. The 2 guys that had barber's licenses, they just kept showing up late, man. The shop's open 9 to 5, 9 to 6, 5 days a week, and they would show up at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So it's been rough. I interviewed 2 guys last week, and on a Zoom call, and same thing. First question I asked you, do you have a barber's license? They both said no. Zoom call ended.
Damn. It said click.
It's a wrap.
That's funny. So, I mean, what are some of the daily habits, since you are the only person in here, what are some of those daily habits that you try to practice and make sure that you're on point on a daily basis for your clients to still handle everything?
I would say on time. It's like treat it like a conveyor belt. And don't let anything in the day sway you off of just like having a smile and giving a good haircut. I give myself 2 lunches a day, and those lunches are for me to eat, but it's also for me to catch up, because if I'm 5 minutes behind on one client, it turns into 10 minutes the next. And now I'm like 10 minutes behind, but that 1 hour lunch, now I'm able to catch up in that lunch, chill, and then now we're back on schedule. So the biggest thing for me is time, and just that it's like a conveyor belt, Now it's easier because I know my clients. Like 99% of the clients that come in here now, I've been cutting for a year. So there is no more like opening conversations or like
just get in a chair. It's good to go. So let's take it back and talk a little bit more about your drawing and your creative work. How do you think being a barber and being an artist, how do you try to blend that both together?
Man, the tool is the pencil. So like, thankfully, I'm an artist that works with colored pencils. So I don't work with a paintbrush or like spray paint or airbrushing or anything. So the physicality of a colored pencil and the control I can have directly translates to a clipper. There's literally a technique that you use when you fade called feathering, where you tilt the clipper and you only use the corner, which I've used on your hair, and you only use the corner, and that corner is literally the tip of a pencil, and you just literally you just draw. It's like I'm drawing. I close the clipper all the way, and I've done this before, and I literally shape the top of the head, like the head of hair. I literally just shape it with the clipper. I'm drawing essentially.
That's something that you do for drawing, but you're also applying it to cutting hair as well.
Yeah, it's so crazy to the point where when I was in barber school, one of my teachers that was teaching me hated that I did that because I'm like freehanding and it's like I'm using it as a pencil.
But I think that's what makes you your cut's unique,
Yes.
right? That's what makes you unique as a barber, is that different technique that you're using to get to the end goal, right?
That's what
Then,
separates.
so why is he hating?
Because he's an old head, and old head just like that. He's an old head.
That's funny. Like you said, we have some of your artwork here.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the some of your favorite artwork that you've drawn? And do you sell any of these, or what are the end goal of what you're trying to do with them?
So this one's the most recent one, Will Smith. I think this is honestly my favorite one, not just because I just drew it, but it just turned out the best. I mean, you could literally tell the difference between this one and the Jason Kelsey one above you. The Jason Kelsey one's 5 years old. This one is a day old, and just the quality is different.
And B one as well too.
Yeah,
Yeah. How long do they usually take you?
depends.
Okay.
Post Malone took the longest. Took me a year.
A year.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You ever thought about making your spot into like a hybrid art gallery
Hell
type
yeah.
space?
Yes.
For other people to kind of showcase their work as well.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was looking for a barber,
Yeah.
but I was just talking to a friend the other day, and he's like, "Hire a tattoo artist." And at first, I said no, but then as I
That's a
kept
good
thinking,
thought.
I was like, "Hold on, why am I just limiting myself to barbering?
Yeah.
I could have a tattoo artist here, a lash tech or something like that, so." But as for art, I do have an online art store on Redbubble. I do also make an income on that. I sell like 40 prints a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean,
You get them signed. You do your signature on them as well.
every single portrait of mine is signed with a Sharpie. So
That's dope. That's
yeah,
dope.
man.
You just talked briefly about some future growth for the shop in terms of trying to hire a tattoo artist or a lash tech or something like that. So what else are you thinking about that you think the small things that you do that people might not see to kind of grow the business, and what else do you think you might try to eventually add on to the business?
The small things I do would probably be it was when I first opened up the physical parts of the shop. So like that whole window sill didn't have any plants, adding those plants, adding some music. I didn't have a TV. Adding a TV and then putting on some sports. Now you could cut somebody, you don't even have to talk to them.
Yeah.
Because you got the Eagles on
Yeah.
and they just don't even care about what you're saying.
Yeah.
You ask them about the weather and they're like, bro, I'm trying to watch this game.
Yeah.
And so when I first opened up the physical parts, now it's just more so social media. I'm just trying to add, more to my social media and grow my brand outside of just this. I want somebody in Florida to be like, yo, can I fly out to get a haircut from you? Or like,
Can
yo,
you fly me out?
yeah. I want to reach, and honestly, I want to, he said,
Small good him.
and I want to reach, respectfully, I want to reach like NBA, NFL kind of levels. I would like to cut a player. So social media would do that for me.
Yeah.
You got a wealthy person that might see my portrait of Will Smith and be like, yo, I want a portrait like that
Exactly.
of my sister who passed away maybe like a year ago.
Yeah.
I'll pay you $5,000. And so social media takes it beyond just, 18th and South to 23rd and South.
Takes you worldwide. So yeah, social media takes it to a whole different game in terms of who you reach. And yeah, I think right now he's painting these people. He's painting people for free. But have you ever gotten a big break from any of these?
Yeah. So I worked for Jason and Travis Kelsey for a summer.
Okay.
Yeah. So that Jason Kelsey portrait that's above you, I actually painted. Yeah, I painted him in 2021, and then 2022 they had a New Heights podcast that was being held, and they needed a summer studio. So like they physically come together in the summer and have like a kind of like we're doing right now, and there's paintings behind us. This is exactly what they do in the summer, and they needed 10 portraits. So they contacted or they put it out there, and artists emailed their portraits. I had that laying around, so I was like, let me email them, and it worked out.
Did you get paid for it?
No.
That's because I just asked.
Bro.
Like,
Bro,
did all that. It's like, nah, just kidding.
let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. The old barbershop I used to work at, when that happened, all the barbers were like, yo, how much they pay you? And I was like, oh,
I forgot about that part. Actually did it from the bottom of my heart. It's like,
I'm never doing that again.
yeah,
That whole bottom of my heart.
It's like you could, like I'm telling you, you could charge like at least $1,000 each for these pictures.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey could have paid $5,000 for that picture.
Hey man, that bottom of the heart stuff in business is not a thing, man.
It's not.
All right. If you're good at something and you got somebody like Jason Kelsey contacting you, give them a number.
Give them a number. Yeah. It's like it takes you a whole year. It took him a year to paint Post Malone. You're gonna charge what? That's at least $10,000. It takes me a whole year to paint something. I'm charging $10,000 for that. Yeah, I mean,
so oddly enough, Post Malone, I contacted this girl I was dating at the time. I was trying to get him to see it. Every single person I paint, I try to. My goal is to try to get them to see it.
Yeah.
Have them repost it. And because they have like millions of followers, those followers come onto my page.
Yeah.
That's the overall goal.
Yeah.
I'm maybe too candid and honest right now, but I don't care too much about like Post Malone, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get that to
reach. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. So as a barber, you're in everybody's space. Oh, sorry. As a barber, people are in your space. Your energy exchanging. How do you make people feel safe, seen, or comfortable when they come down and sit on your chair?
Make it about them.
Okay.
Make it about them. If you're a barber and you constantly talk about yourself, I've literally had people sit in the chair and be like, yo, I couldn't get a cut from you. I had to go somewhere else. Man, that barber kept talking about his whatever.
Yeah.
That barber kept talking about, his car, his baby mom, his blah, blah, blah. That barber kept talking about something that it's like I didn't care.
Yeah.
But it's like, when you're on a date, you don't want to keep just talking about yourself and blabbering about yourself.
You want to learn about the other person.
Yeah, because it's a comfort. You're making them look good, and you want them to express themselves.
So, what are some questions that you might ask people to get them more comfortable? And is there ever a time where somebody was like, "Bro, like I just need you to just cut my hair and just chill out, bro"? Like,
yeah. So the first thing is, because this city and this part of the city is not really that native. Like if you go to South Philly, where I grew up, a lot of those people are born and raised in that area. All your clientele is going to be local. But in here, you have a lot of people that moved from Texas because they're working at Penn.
Yeah.
They're going to Wharton for a semester.
Yeah.
So where did you come from is the biggest thing that I start off with. Are you from Philly?
Yeah.
And then they go, no, I'm from Texas. Well, what brings you here? And they tell me I'm a PhD at Penn, and I say, do you like the PhD? Now they say, no, I don't like the PhD. And I'm like, why? Now they're talking about why they don't like the PhD program.
Professors they hate.
Yeah. and they can't talk about that
to
anybody else.
Yeah.
So now they're sitting there.
It's like a mini therapy session.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm giving them a great cut while they're doing that.
Yeah.
And you got to smell nice as a barber. You got to like be presentable. And so like you're giving them a great cut. They love the cut at the end, and they express themselves like, oh my, I just like expressed to him how I didn't really like that Penn professor, and that was weighing on me. I was losing sleep.
Yeah.
It was nice to let that out.
Yeah.
I was cutting an older man, and I asked those questions. Are you married? This, that, just trying to get to know him. And he said that. He goes, you're a very inquisitive guy. Why are you asking me so many questions?
That was the easiest. That was a really chill way to be like, yo, bro, be quiet.
Yeah. He gave it back to me too. He goes, what about you? Are you married?
Since you actually want to know so many questions, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I'm like, nah, I deleted Hinge like 20 times this week.
What's something deeper that you want to do with the business besides cutting hair? Is there a bigger mission tied to it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Giving other people opportunities, growing the brand into more of a community-based project. I want to give like younger people that may not want to go to college and may cut hair in like their mom's basement. I want them to be able to leave that, get their license, and make 6 figures and open up their own business or work at the shop. one of my future shops and make six figures there. Like I want to be able to like give younger kids, honestly, like a more clear path the way a kid that goes to college has a clear path. Because right now barbers don't have a clear path, man.
Yeah.
Every time I want to hire somebody, I go, where are you cutting?
Yeah.
And they go, oh, I got a mobile business. I got a Jansport school bag that I'm shoving clippers
Go to
in.
client's house.
And I'm driving client's house in my, Nissan Altima. No hate to Nissan Altimas, but I'm just saying, like, so in my mind, I'm like, there's no structure there. And I want to be able to give the new generation like structure, in this industry.
When I used to work with a barber, that was his thing. He would just pull up. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I don't have a spot to cut, but I'll just pull up on you. And he would charge me like $60. Like, bro, like just because you pulled up on me doesn't
mean I gotta pay you $60, bro.
It's like you have no other choice. I'll pull up on you. Like,
Yeah.
It's like you don't have the option. Like
And that's what you run into.
Yeah. That's funny. So the people that you connect with on a daily basis, what have you learned from them? Like, is there any lessons that you get from talking to so many people, especially somebody so young? I'm sure that you're cutting older people's hair as well. Are there any lessons that they've given you?
Yeah, a lot, bro. I learned so much in the last year. So much.
What are some? Can you tell us?
I would say, all right, so the first month I opened up the business, I didn't know that I had to pay taxes differently, which sounds crazy,
Yeah.
right? That's how blind I went into this. And I was cutting a guy who owned a real estate company. And he goes, something, 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 taxes.
Yeah.
And I go,
Taxes.
that's exactly it. He goes, give me your phone. He puts his number in. 2 hours after the cut, he sends me every single thing that I need in order for me to successfully do taxes as a business owner. And he literally saved like
thousands.
He saved my, and I still cut him, and I still talk about that with him to this day. I'm like, dude.
There's some people that there are people that run successful businesses that don't know anything about their taxes or doing their taxes correctly or things like that. And I hear that a lot when it comes down to actually even trying to sell a business or something like that. You have to make sure that you have proper accounting, proper accounting methods. Your books is in order and like things like that. So that's definitely one thing that as a small business owner, there's two things that as a small business people need to pay attention to: make sure you're doing your taxes and make sure that your books are in order as well, right? So some rapid fire questions for you. What is some your favorite cut to do?
Fade.
Skin fade. Skin fade. Okay. Clippers you never trade.
JRLs, my JRL fade blade clippers.
Okay. If you weren't a barber, what would you be doing?
An artist. But
I mean, you do yard.
Yeah.
If you weren't a barber and an artist, what would you do?
If I was better at football and I looked like Saquon Barkley, then I'd probably just end up playing football.
NFL player.
Yeah.
All right. Most underrated part of Philly.
Underrated part of Philly.
Yeah.
Old City.
Old City?
Yeah.
I don't really be hanging out around there.
See?
It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, it is nice. Every time I go in there, I love the building and the architecture.
It's beautiful.
Architecture around there too.
You got Buffalo Billiards, Vista Peru.
Yeah.
Maluga is like this huge Yemeni inspired restaurant. I mean, I could go on and on. The amount of bars there are crazy.
Yeah. So for someone that's thinking about starting something, whether it's a shop, a hustle, or just something new, what's the one thing that you think they can focus on?
Income to start it and consistency. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but you need money to start it. You need money to make money.
Yeah.
Build up capital. If you think you need $5,000, you need 20. If you think you need 20 grand for a big project, you really need 80. Like, you need more than you think.
Overestimate
and be consistent. Keep showing up on the days that you're not having business, or the days you do have business but you don't feel like doing the business. Just keep showing up, and it'll fall into place.
Consistency is key. Ali's story is proof that you don't need to be loud to be impactful. You don't need 1 million followers to build a movement. What you need is discipline, consistency, and a vision, and that's exactly what this man is living and doing. So if this hit you, drop a like, share it with somebody that needs to hear it. Keep chasing your version of greatness. Thank you again. This is Beyond the Brand with Majuri Irijaje, and I'll see you next time.